As Dominic left the doctor's office, the words Dr. Bishu used kept running through his head. There is a bacterial issue in your stomach that we cannot find the source from, and the allergies you recently acquired are making it difficult to treat. What you are going through seems to be a faster aging process, and unfortunately, I am seeing more and more of this. The insurance company was taking their time approving the treatments Dr. Bishu recommended. There is always a reason for their stalling, but nothing made sense as to why. Not willing to wait, Dominic decided it was time for him to speak with someone in person. As he sat in the reception area at the insurance office, he overheard the conversation in the other room. Mr. Perez, I'm very impressed with your insurance policy rates. They are lower than any other business per employee we insure, a female voice said. Your employees hardly went to the doctors at all last year. Whatever you are doing is working for employees. Yes, thank you, replied Javier Perez. The bounty of the earth is nature's medicine. Here are some tomatoes for you, he said as he gave the woman a bag of fresh organic tomatoes. Thank you. I love organic tomatoes. They will go nicely in an organic salad, she said as she walked him to the door past Dominic Tasker, where they said their goodbyes. As Javier drove away, Dominic noticed a sign on the side of his truck that read, Perez Organic Farms. Dominic heard of this farmer and has seen his products in local markets, although his family never ate anything but food crop. This struck a terrifying thought to Dominic. Could it be true? Are the seeds he is feeding his family, his employees, and the world causing health issues? The thought was mind-boggling. He remembered his two children were becoming more and more prone to food allergies. He quickly tried to dismiss the thought, but the lawsuits of people developing diseases that were not around before kept going through his mind. They were always in the back of his mind, but he just kept dismissing them. While he was talking with his insurance representative, he checked out his insurance premiums and found his rates were among the highest. Without divulging any personal medical information of your employees, the insurance representative chose his words carefully. It is basically due to the amount of office visits, prescriptions, and tests being ran. It is much higher than other companies, Mr. Tasker. We have been examining why your employees are frequenting the doctors more and more than other companies. We are more reluctant to approve the required treatments until we find the source. Dominic sat there wondering what the effects of his products have done. How could food crop be so different from the organic foods? He was providing food all over the world to feed hungry people. He was using modified seeds to resist any natural obstacles. It was a good thing. It cannot be harmful. This was not the way his father taught him to be a successful businessman. His father was fair and diplomatic. He lived with integrity. As Dominic looks back on his career, he realized how far off the path he had come in order for science to create something that nature already had handled. Then he remembered the truck Javier Perez drove away in, Perez Organic Farms. Dominic drove up to the house in the country, way off the road. He had spoken to Javier over the phone and asked if he could tour his farm and find out more about his business. Javier was a little surprised at the call, but was willing to talk to someone who was willing to learn about organic farming. When the two met, Dominic introduced himself as Dan, hoping Javier did not know who he was. As Javier took Dan around the farm, he explained how he started out as a worker on a farm, then was able to get enough money together to buy land and start his farm. He showed him a cover crop of barley, peas, clover, mustard, and daikon radishes. He explained how the seeds and the legumes add the nitrogen back into the soil. The deeper the roots go, the more the soil breaks up to eliminate digging and plowing. Everything is done naturally with the plants doing the work. What about bugs? Dan asked. Some of the plants are natural bug repellents. Nothing else is necessary, responded Javier, pointing out the smaller plants. You just have to know what to plant to keep the insects away from their target. It's all comprehensive. How did you come to understand it? Dominic questioned Javier. It's in my blood, Javier smiled. I was taught by generations of farmers who never used anything but the plants to improve the soil and the food we eat. It is nature's gift to us. What makes this better than non-organic foods? Dominic asked. The land here is prosperous from other plants, my workers and me. Here, people know what they are getting. When they buy foods that are not organic, they have no idea what they are eating. There is a huge disconnect from people who do not know where their food is coming from. Then that disconnect shows in how they live. Javier pointed out to the fields where his workers were and continued, my employees are not handling the chemicals, so they stay healthy and they eat healthy. The work is good, I pay them well, and we all work together. You get out there and work with them? Dan asked. Of course, Javier replied. This is my home. They are my family. We all work together. We all take pride in our work, and it shows in our beautiful vegetables. We do not have the disconnection. We all stay connected to our work, our lives, and each other. Javier showed him some purple turnips and beets that were bigger than what Dan expected. Then Javier and Dan walked over to the watering system. This is all worked out so that we get the most usage of the minimalist water supply and runoff. Sarah, the woman I hired to come over, has worked out this very efficient system that is custom to what I'm using. It is another way of connecting and respecting our resources. Dan nodded in approval. Javier's farm is impressive. Next, they walked over to a greenhouse where the seedlings are. This is where the babies are, Javier said like a proud father looking over his newborn seedlings. Pretty soon they will be ready to plant outside. The weather is almost warm enough for them. How do you stay in business? Dan asked. I know everything that grows here is making a difference in the world, and because of that, I keep going. People buy the produce because it makes them feel good, inside and out, and they see the differences in the products I grow and in the way they are grown. My dream is to grow bigger and expand, Javier said with his brilliant smile. It will happen someday. I can feel it. Javier's enthusiasm and love for what he's doing was catching on with Dominic. He saw how much Javier cares about his employees' well-being and his sense of connection with them. I guess I should come clean. My name is not Dan, Dominic started. Yes, I know who you are, Mr. Tasker. I saw you yesterday at the insurance office. Welcome to my farm. Javier smiled, then his smile became serious. What brings you to my home? The two men sat down and talked about the differences of the two businesses. Dominic proposed a way to promote more organic farming than modified seeds. I have the connections, and you have the love for what you are doing. We can make the two one productive product. How do I know you are serious? Javier questioned. If something does not change, there will not be enough people to buy my products, and I will not be here to sell them. Dominic replied, looking at Javier in the eyes with complete conviction. The two men started a plan to go global. At Javier's request, they put together an education program for nutritional and healing plants. Dominic knew this would create chaos in his business, but the outcome will far exceed the chaos. He could tell this was the right thing to do.